All right, all right.
Okay. Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So it was reported by the Ring magazine that Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamaont Roach 2 is going to be on August 16th in Las Vegas. And this, without a doubt, is one of the best fights of the year because of what happened in the first fight. It's crazy when you look back in hindsight, because if you listen to what Gervonta Tank Davis said leading up to the fight, you listen to what Lamaont Roach said, and both of them were pretty much spot on how this fight would play out. Matter of fact, I remember a lot of interviews that Lamaont Roach would do. Some people even asked him, if you were to get past him, what's next? And Lamaont would always say the rematch. The rematch with Gervonta is what's going to be next. And even though everyone expected this to be a very easy fight for Gervonta Tank Davis, Gervonta always said leading up to this fight that Lamaont Roach is more skilled than Frank Martin and Ryan Garcia, and that turned out to be true. And this is the beautiful thing about the sport of boxing. You never know what's going to happen. Everybody thought the only one that could challenge Gervonta was Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. Now we have another fighter that can actually challenge Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson, just further proving how rich the American talent is in the sport of boxing. But when it comes to rematches, there are just so many different type of outcomes that you can get. Sometimes rematches, they look identical to the first fight, like some of the Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez fights. And then other times, there's rematches like the fourth fight that Pacquiao had with Marquez, where Pacquiao got knocked out. Now, I've been watching this fight a lot on YouTube when it comes to Tank and Roach, but I still haven't got to watch it in high definition, which I want to do. But I have a feeling both fighters are going to start earlier this time and going to be a lot more aggressive. I mean, they're still going to be counterpunching, but I think they're both going to try to start earlier. And because Lamaont was able to neutralize Gervonta's left hand almost throughout the entire fight, I think Gervonta is going to fight more on the inside, going into the high guard like he did in the later rounds in the first fight. And that's something that Lamaont, he already likes to do. When you look back at the first fight, both fighters were so measured and so calculated because they knew all it took was the smallest mistake that could get either one of them knocked out. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody really gets hurt or even gets knocked down in this rematch. You know, I was just saying in my last video, it's funny how the double standards work. When Shakur Stevenson, when he's not getting hit, he gets criticized for having too much of a good defense by the race fans. And then once Gervonta gets caught with a couple clean shots against Lamaont Roach, those same fans say he got exposed. So for the fans who did say that Gervonta got exposed in that fight, I want you guys to put your predictions down in the comment section. I want to know who you guys are picking to win the rematch. Because if you feel Gervonta got exposed, then that means you are most likely picking Lamaont Roach to win the rematch. I remember Lamaont Roach's father, he was asked, who has more to lose, Gervonta or your son? And Roach Sr., he said Gervonta has more to lose. And Gervonta still has more to lose in this rematch. Gervonta has already talked about how he's afraid to lose. He's afraid to end up being a meme on the internet. He said that's his biggest fear, is losing. So he is going to be extremely motivated to win this rematch. So the first fight was already good. The rematch is going to be much better. It almost feels like we're on the off season of boxing right now because the majority of the big fights are in July, August, and September. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.